We need to discuss Disney. This video is intended for parents and for those who want to seek wisdom. Are your children safe anymore? They're not. 2 young children have told they don't want their private parts anymore. Fox News reported that. Because of Florida's law of having schools teach young kindergartners, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd graders about explicit sexual topics. It's not just homosexuality. Disney took a big part of this so they can deceive young minds. They have an agenda for queerness that's obviously not private, but this wasn't the first time Disney did a gay queer agenda. I've read an article from a school library from an email discussing 2 gay rangers from Gravity Falls. There are also gay and queer materials from DuckTales, Big City Greens, Amphilia, and most importantly, The Owl House. These shows also contain supernatural, negative emotional, sketchy content where they're being put in demonic settings. I've also seen the 3 Caballeros have that same kind of content too on its reboot. I'm not trying to have dividing on to any circumstances. I'm trying to have you be avoiding so your children won't be at harm. It's not just Disney, it's also Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network that also took a part on these and for their own agenda, where there's gay stuff, especially on their Twitter accounts, and they're not being original with new ideas for their shows. I just think all this American stuff all has an agenda, not Illuminati. There's better options for your children that have no wokeness, even though the French and British and sometimes Canadian have better kid shows than having something we've always had in the United States, like SpongeBob for an example. Back on the topic of gayness, when I was in kindergarten, back in 2007, 2008, I was hearing the word gay for the first time in my life from an online animation of Marth singing to Roy, "If you were gay, that'll be okay." Now you heard that right. Marth and Roy from Fire Emblem. I didn't know what it meant at the time, but as I grew up and heard the word gay as a thing to tease and poke fun at, or calling something gay meant pathetic. It wasn't until the 5th grade where I asked a student what it meant, and the student said that it's 2 of the same gender dating and kissing. In the amendment that Florida's law had, it did not say the word gay once. Is that why they're calling it the "Don't Say Gay"? Because it didn't say it? Otherwise, I heard it's hypocritical. I've also heard how Netflix was teaming up for Disney to make some R-rated content for Disney. I am so sick and tired of seeing a lot of R-rated stuff. I'm tired of seeing like music from R-rated stuff. I'm so sick and tired of everything being so like rated R, which means restricted. So if it's gonna be restricted, then you might as well restrict me, and I'll restrict myself from all these restrictions. Disney was originally founded as a company that was designed for people of all ages, especially children. Nowadays it's not, because of everything around us. Everything around this world and media that we're always into. I was looking up some clips, Disney references from The Simpsons, and on those clips they're always like teasing and poking fun where they can't use these movies mention because of the copyright infringement, but they always mention that Disney is always an evil corporate company from an evil man named Walter Disney, but that's just The Simpsons. But what's really bizarre is that The Simpsons was bought by Disney. I'm telling you this about The Simpsons and Family Guy because of bonus extra information. One thing to point out is that DuckTales and Rescue Rangers were both created in the late 80s. I feel very skeptical on how DuckTales was rebooted in 2017 and not Rescue Rangers being rebooted a little later after DuckTales. Both should have been rebooted and not just one, in my terms. Well, Xylem rebooted Chip and Dale in a park life instead of ranger rescuing. I don't know why Disney or Xylem allowed this, because the French hate Disney. Xylem is a French company. One last thing to say. The Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry do a lot better job than Mickey Mouse does.